Good morning. So somebody has reached out and shared with me that they found it really interesting that they have known other people to have autistic characteristics and not be aware of them. But they've never known somebody who could eyeball another person for 5 minutes straight and be autistic. They were actually speaking in reference to a presentation that I did online for the Autism Summit that was organised by my lovely friend Paul Micallef over at Autism Explained and Asperger's from the Inside. And I wanted to address this because I think it's a really important thing to talk about. When we talk about eye contact and autistic people, it's important to know that eye contact fluctuates for us. And I can only speak for myself, but I have always required eye contact with people I'm comfortable with to be able to connect with them properly, to feel like I'm really engaged with them. And I know that many autistic people experience this as well. I'm often told that my eye contact is extremely intense. And having intense eye contact is also often characteristic of being on the autism spectrum. But specifically, I'd like to address the incident where somebody believed that I was able to make ongoing eye contact with my friend Paul in the interview. So what happens is we're not actually looking at each other. We're looking into a camera like I am now. But when you see it from your side, it looks as though Paul and I are looking at each other and speaking to each other, but we're not. We're both looking into a camera. What's funny about this whole story is that on the day that Paul interviewed me, I happened to say to him, I just want to give you a heads up, Paul, and I say this nearly every time I interview somebody or I'm interviewed or I engage with another person and it's being filmed. I said, Paul, I just need to give you a heads up that I find it really uncomfortable and really difficult to look into the camera for long periods of time. And incredibly, in that moment, Paul shared with me a trick so that I was able to manage to consistently look into the camera. And he taught me to look above the camera because it would still look as though I was looking into it. So for the entire interview, I was looking at a spot on the wall instead of into the camera. And I often do that now. So yes, I was able to eyeball for 5 minutes my wall. And yes, I often do have very intense eye contact, but there are also times where I cannot make eye contact with people, and that's for a variety of reasons. But I really wanted to answer this because I think it's a really important point to talk about, and it's another myth that autistic people can't or don't want to make eye contact. Anyway, have a great weekend.